I had just come out into the world feeling better at the beginning of the year, the end of last year, and then the world shut down. I'm Kimberly, and I make videos about health and wellness, growth, intuition, a whole bunch of different things. And 2.5 years ago, I had stem cell therapy done. I had done many different treatments for Lyme disease prior to that. And since the stem cells have done many, many things, including seen multiple naturopaths and energy workers, and learned the Wim Hof method and started practicing that religiously, there's been so many things that I've done in the last couple of years to get to where I am now. And this is my birthday today. I am now in my 34th year on this planet, and I want to talk about my 33rd year. This whole past year, this whole 2020. I'm like probably one of the only people on the planet who is like, oh, this is a much better year than I have had in the last decade. Probably not a lot of people saying that right now. And in October last year, October 2019, I had started feeling better. I had started to get a little bit more energy. I had really been working hard on mind, body, and spirit, and really started practicing mindset and pushing myself out of my comfort zone. That was huge. So in October, my best friend and I went to Arizona, and we stayed there for, I think, 2 weeks. And for me, that was hugely out of my comfort zone to be in another place and doing things. I pushed myself to get out driving, it was uncomfortable because I was pushing myself to do things that I normally wouldn't do, and to take on the responsibility of just surviving on my own. Because with my friend there, prior to that, my parents had been, even though they would go away for a little here and there for trips or something like that, for the last year previous to that, I was going through neuro repair from stem cells. And neuro repair is extremely painful. It can be extremely painful. It can be extremely symptomatic. And it pretty much puts your life on complete hold, like as if it wasn't already on quite a bit of hold before that. When you're going through that repair, it's almost like you're going back through infancy again. And so your body is having to is growing all these stem cells. It's attaching to different places. It's learning what it should do in different parts of your body and what it should take on responsibility for and forms it should take on and everything. So it's really totally revamping your system, and it's making you very tired. It's making you have weird cravings and just get hungry more often, or sometimes not hungry. There's all these huge shifts that happen. And like I said, I had been experiencing mild things already from previous to that, and they were more mild than this. They were still very extreme. But they were more mild than the neuro repair. And there was quite a few months, I can't remember exactly, I want to say 8 months or so, where I was just fully in this and in extreme pain. So my parents were having to really be my caretakers and help me with so many things, pretty much everything. And at one point, I was in a completely dark bedroom, and I couldn't even have the tiniest light on, and now I'm staring at this ring light in front of me. So taking that place from that dark bedroom, needing to be cared for everything for quite a few months, to being like, you know what, I am starting to feel well. I am going to push myself out of this, and I'm going to force myself to, no matter how many good days I have, and no matter how many bad days I have, or good hours I have and bad hours I have, I'm going to push myself to go do this. And I knew that I could rest when I needed to or whatnot, but I went and I did it. So I pushed myself to go do that. I stayed in Arizona. That shifted me entirely. The mindset around that, in the first of all, my body was in a place where I was starting to come out of that repair, and I wasn't in that complete survival mode that I was in before that. So I was able to my body was in a place that allowed me to make more mindset changes that were outside of the house, that were outside of the normal things that I did. Whereas previous to that, my mindset changes were more like ways of thinking about things in my head, ideas, the way that I was coming up with different ideas of, I don't know, somebody said something to me and it made me mad, and I'm like, no, wait, that didn't make me mad. I'm responding in an angry manner. That is my choice. So having like those kind of mindset things, shifts happening, and this was more like, no, I'm gonna push myself out of my comfort zone, and I'm going to get out there. I'm gonna try driving in safe places again, and really train my fight or flight to not be on mode all the time, basically. So October to like December was a lot of that retraining my brain that like driving wasn't scary, that I can see now. I have the vision to see the road now, whereas I didn't. I had extreme tunnel vision for a really long time. And so I knew that my body was in a place that I could push my mind to do more stuff and it would be safe. And I was there. I was ready to do that, because there's all different stages to like mindset training, nervous system training, and everything. So in January, I really started feeling better. I really started getting out and having some kind of social life, and went to Tahoe for New Year's, and like went out on New Year's, like what? And so I was definitely starting to live. I was excited. I was thinking like, wow, I can get like a job soon. Like, this is so cool. I was starting to look at stuff, and I was looking at schools, and I was like, wow, the world is open to me. I could do so much. And I have all these cool people that are in my life, and I'm so excited, and I really, really want to travel. And then the world shut down. So it was interesting because the world shut down, I was forced to take things slow. Like, I probably would have hit things so much harder, and I am in such a different place than I was in like late February, early March. Like, I'm in such a different place. I am so much stronger than I was physically, mentally, spiritually, everything. I'm just like, I was talking to my mom about this the other day, and a friend was there, and I said like, oh, I'm working, like I was working the last 2 weeks, like 4 different part-time jobs, and I was doing all of them for many days in a row, and working like 10-hour days between all of them. And she's like, oh, my friend's like, oh, well, you could have done that 6 months ago. My mom and I looked at each other and we're like, no, I don't think I could. And my mom was completely like on the same page with me that like, this is such a different space. So because I had this time to take things slow and like slowly like get back into the world of some kind of normalcy for myself, that it was this weird silver lining and everything. Like, not that I would ever have been like, yes, let's have a demic going on here, and no, I just mean that if I'm gonna look at a silver lining in anything, that was something that I can take from this as a positive. Obviously, it would have been awesome to be able to go out and travel and try things and do things, and that the world would just be like a much happier place and much more balanced. Um, so my 33rd year was 33 in 2020, the synchronicity of those numbers. And I thought that was really cool when the year started. And I just felt like, wow, this is going to be such a big year for me. I'm going to have so much happen. I'm going to have so much change. And it was right on. I definitely did. Definitely gained a social life, met a bunch of like-minded people, connected with people that I've known for years, was able to go a few places and do road trips to different places, and was able to bring in new practices into my life, was able to bring new jobs into my life and school into my life. Like, oh my God, I've been dreaming of school for so many years. I've really, really wanted to go back to school. I was like literally dreamt of school every single night that I was back in school, because I had to drop out when I was a freshman in college after an anaphylactic shock to mold. So that is my 33rd year. Was just a very slow integration into some crazy new normalcy that the world is experiencing, and this crazy new normalcy that personally I'm experiencing. And I am honestly just so grateful for everything that things laid out in a weird way, in a really devastating way. My dad passed, and in October this year as well. So um, yeah, this was definitely a hard year on many levels, despite all the growth and wonderful things that came into this year. Is such a weird mix. So that's where like the silver linings, like I keep looking towards the silver linings and knowing that um there's something looking out for all of us, for each of us, and I'm definitely feeling that for sure. So in my 34th year, I'm very, very excited to see what is coming, setting intentions for what I want this year, making some goals and reaching those, going for them, and just loving life and enjoying it and laughing every day and smiling and bringing in joy in whatever way I can. So that's my 33rd year kind of summed up. um, I guess I will see you guys in the next video. And if you like this video, please like it. If you have any comments or whatever, please leave them down below. I'd love to hear from you, and subscribe if you feel called to. And I'll see you in the next video. All right, bye.